My boy, CameraReady Frank, man.
Yes, sir.
Glad to have you here. I'm glad you took out the time to come check me out. You've been working in Atlanta for a good amount of time now,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Between acting, stunts, dancing, training, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot more that we'll find out.
for sure.
I definitely wanted to get you here and tap into your brain because there's a lot of people that will want to understand your process better, and I know that you can help other people, and especially in 2026, right?
Mm.
I'll start it off with this. What does it mean to be a true actor in this day and time?
From my perspective, um, I think it means to be a true actor in this day and time by showing how much you're willing to invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually taking yourself serious before you expect someone else to take you serious. And I mean that by, you know, taking the proper steps, getting your paperwork together, getting proper
Yeah.
headshots, going to acting classes, and then from there just connecting with the right circles so you can, stay in the know of what's going on instead of just trying to, get on this set or that set and you
Mm-hmm.
really don't even you're not even prepared for an opportunity even if it presents itself.
Because I know Denzel Washington was saying, if you haven't been on that stage, and I was watching the interview where you were stating that you came into it, you got extra jobs for about 2 years or so, but it just wasn't connecting.
Mm-mm.
So it hit you to the point where you had to go take those classes and take yourself serious, though. But we also live in an age where people are getting roles by popularity, being influencers. Do you think that's tarnished the route that people have to take, or has it created more opportunities?
um I don't think it's tarnished the route. I just think first of all, what's for you is going to be for you.
Yes.
Putting God first and your faith in what you believe in. And I feel like you just got to get creative in everything when it comes to just being a part of the industry because what may work for me may not work for you.
That's
I can
facts.
tell you exactly everything that I did to get to this point, but you do those same things and you're not,
Mm-hmm.
at where you feel like you need to be. So I think it's just a rinse and repeat. Just keep
Yeah.
on doing things, pick up little pieces here and there from, people that are your mentors or people that you look up to. But at the same time, take all of those tools and find which ones work for you and then, work it that route.
Now you're coming from Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed from living up north and things like people move a little differently in different cities,
Oh, yeah.
right? Being from Chicago, what were some of the misconceptions you had about prior to moving to Atlanta, and what were some of the things you had to leave in Chicago in order to find the success that you're finding today?
Oh, man. First and foremost, coming down here, Southern hospitality is a real thing.
Yeah.
So to walk down the street and see a complete stranger and they
Say
speaking
hello.
to you,
Yeah.
saying hi and everything like that is like, hey, do they know me? Coming from
Yeah.
Chicago is like, people start saying things and making certain gestures. You think they up to
Like,
something.
yo, hold on, what's going on right now?
Exactly.
I ain't used to
Like
this. Yeah.
who you know? You know me? Where you know me from?
Yeah.
But no, that's just genuineness in most people. They speak, and they just keep it moving. It's nothing more than that. But yeah, you get a different version of that. When people, take the time to actually put energy into saying something to you as a stranger, being on the streets. A lot of just knowing where you are. So
Yeah.
in Chicago, it's like you don't go to certain places if you're not familiar with those environments, especially being in certain
It's
hoods.
not my
Like,
block.
yeah, you're not from
Yeah.
there, don't go there. Please
That's
don't
like
go there.
everywhere.
Exactly.
Yep.
But being in Atlanta, you can be a little bit more adventurous. Like
Yeah.
it's still neighborhoods like that, but as an actor and a stuntman, being in the industry, you wanna, figure out the city, go to these different
Yeah.
areas, figure out what's going on, what studios over here, and things like that, so you can know, where you need to go to get whatever, assets you need to grow in this business.
Now, how was your energy received? Because I could say this when I first came down, I was on go, 100 miles an hour, and then I had to realize is I'm going so fast that I'm passing something that I needed to be paying attention to, and thinking that was progression when really it was putting me steps behind. Because I'm used to, as we spoke prior, like skill set,
Mm-hmm.
merit being the thing that gets you to where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And here, it's about relationship, cultivating relationships. Did you have that issue when you first came down here, and how did you maneuver around that?
Um, I definitely had that issue because, like you just stated, being talented in certain things and knowing how
Mhm.
good you are at something. I reference it to basketball. You tight in
Yeah.
basketball. You get on the court, you do your thing. They just see me shoot. They see how I dribble. I know I'm gonna get picked up.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
nice with it. But to like going back to stunts, I go in the stunt gym, show them all of my
Mhm.
moves, show them that I really know what I'm doing when it comes to martial arts, even the knowledge behind it, where
Yeah.
it comes from and things of that nature. I'm spitting good game, letting them know everything,
Doesn't
but that
matter.
means nothing.
Doesn't
So
even
it's like
matter.
y'all didn't just see what I
Yeah, bro.
just did. Like I did it effortlessly.
And
Like, but yeah, I had to get out of my comfort zone because coming from Chicago, I wasn't too quick to like walk up to strangers and talk to them and let them know what I had going on. I just let my talent speak for itself, and that doesn't go well all the time here in Atlanta. So yeah, you definitely want to be more personable. I had to learn how to communicate better,
Mhm.
and yeah, just step up to people
Yeah,
and see what they got going on. So that's not a thing. You don't go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, yo, what you doing in
yeah.
Chicago?" Yeah, nah. But down here, I had to switch that up. So yeah.
I know it's one of those things where even just talking about like resume, because even when I moved down here, it was a lot of people will let you know where they work, who they work for,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, that stuff don't matter because I'm here now.
Exactly.
Then you start to realize is people actually care about those things, who you worked with, whether it's celebrity, company, things like that, because it opens up the conversation. Just by seeing you have a skill set, people are like, all right, cool, that's cool, but who you work with though?
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
and I'm coming from the spec of I'm not going to be bragging about who I work with, and then there's also somebody that work with more people and people at higher levels than me. So where do we have that middle ground at? And I started to realize that you do. It's okay. It's not bragging. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's people are actually just seeing where you were and how they can gauge your track record within
Exactly.
the industry. You know. With that being said, where was that first job that you got that stated, okay, I'm moving along now?
Um, Man, it was a couple of little points because it's like you can get a job and you'll feel like, oh yeah, this is where I want to be, and then you'll get on another set or another production,
Yeah,
and you'll be like, man, I thought I'd be way past this point. Like
yeah.
I feel like I backtracked. Um, so I think it's just like you just never know. It's like so many of them stick out to you. Like I could say when I did the Mike Ben live show, which was my
Mhm.
first stage play, and when
Oh, you got on that stage.
I got on that
Great.
stage. I definitely got on that stage. I've
Yeah.
been on the stage a few times, but doing that and
Mhm.
not knowing how far I was gonna be able to take it, and
Yeah.
then landing multiple roles. Like I played multiple characters for that one stage play, so it's like that was major for me
Oh,
because
that'd be
I
cool.
never
Yeah.
expected that I'll be doing that. And then to land an action scene on the movie Divergence and be doing stunts when I only went on there to be an extra.
Yeah.
Now I'm with the stunt crew, training with them, doing my thing with them. So I mean, it's just spotlight moments. That's the best way
So
I can put
being
it.
prepared,
Yeah, being
it's
prepared.
literally being
Yeah.
prepared. Well, it's kind of like you move backwards anyway because you came prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You were already ready. You just had to get the opportunity.
Exactly.
And not everybody is blessed with that gift. You know, some people are still trying to figure it out. You
Mm-hmm.
had to unlearn certain things, and I think that's been the process for me being here, kind of unlearning some ways that I was used to,
Mm-hmm.
but also the things that I've acquired over time helped me be prepared when I got the opportunity to be in the room. You know, you've been working on different shows, series, streaming. I mean, when you go down the line,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that you've been involved in, right? What do you think fits you the most? And if it's for somebody just getting into the game, what would you suggest that they shoot for initially?
I think what fits me the most now, knowing what I know, is acting.
Mm-hmm.
Being in front of the camera, actually sitting down to study my lines, go over my scripts, building a background story for my character. Like
Mm-hmm.
I never knew how much I would find joy in that.
Yeah.
Um, and I say for somebody just starting out, beginning, have your hand in every part of it, not just being in front of the camera, but behind the camera as well, because you never know what you may come across that might spark an interest and your path may change. Like, it's so many different jobs under one umbrella. Don't just isolate yourself to one, because all of them could come together. You might end up doing your own production one day and might have to know every part of what's going on. Or you might just find something that's like, oh yeah, this is it. I thought acting or doing stunts was it, but no, being a DP or a script supervisor, this is better for me. Like, I'd rather do this. Like, so I say try your hand at all of the opportunities and just see what's to it.
It's funny because you say that, because I met you when I was working on the Drewski set, right? And then you came and we chopping it up, but it wasn't even about acting. It was about martial arts.
Yeah.
So we said, oh, bro, you trained? Bro, you trained? He's like, yeah, I act too. I film. So it segued into that conversation from something that we have involved, which is a big piece of our lives, and then segue into that conversation and the reason we're sitting here. And you know, it's just funny when you find well-rounded people. Once you say martial artist, I'm like, I already know where your brain is. It takes a different level of composure, you know, different level of discipline just as a human being to even withstand just the training hours and things like that. And I think that's what carried with me from basketball to martial arts. It's still training. It tapped into a different part of me, you know, but you start to understand when I meet a martial artist, I'm like, oh, this person is disciplined in different areas. Because he won't even be able to go to training if the other areas in his life wasn't in order.
Everything works as a unit.
Everything works as a unit, you know. So now you find yourself acting, right? And you find yourself on reality TV show, right? What aspect of acting do you find yourself the most favorable in? From movies to plays to reality TV, what says CameraReady Frank?
I think it's more so the mindset of like Bruce Lee is when it comes to martial arts.
Be like water.
Be like water.
Yeah.
So you just want to be able to read the room and just know which direction you're going to take based off of what's going on. Being present and understanding what you are and who you are and moving forward in that mindset. Yeah. That's the best way I could put it.
So you said something earlier about the process, and I want to revisit that because most people don't understand the process, right? For getting a role, you got the role where you got your headshots, you do this. Take us through your process of getting a role and preparing for that role.
I treat it just like I treat the gym. So you want to plan out what it is exactly that you want to achieve, and then do your research on what's going to be required of you to achieve those things. And like I said, my journey may not be your journey. So you hear all these different stories of being on set of I did it like this, I did it like that. You have to just, you know, get in the water and see what's to it. That's the best way I can do it to describe it to you. I say the best route to go that I believe for anybody is just get started at seeing where these studios are. Being, you know, just around the fire, around people that's actually doing it, seeing the different personalities and characteristics and just, you know, talking to people.
Yes, that's the main
And that's the main thing. Like, you just want to be close to the fire. Anything that you want to do, be around people that's doing it. That's the best way I could put it.
I was talking to a lady and her daughter just got into acting. And the main thing I was telling her, I said, you might be on set for 14 hours and you might be with actors that are extras. But some of these extras own businesses. They're producers over here. Some of them are just taking extra work for fun.
Exactly.
Others are getting started. You never know who you're in the room with and what people do. Like, literally, I was working on a commercial and the DP was like, he was coming to me and he was like, yo, I really like you, etc. He was like, I still do PA work and I DP, you know? He's like, listen, and the thing he told me, he said, my bank account doesn't determine or can't say what job I was working. It just knows what's being put in it.
Exactly.
It doesn't say, oh, this is a check from being a DP or a PA. He's like, my bank account is either being fed or it's not being fed.
That's it.
So he is like, wherever you can get in, don't look at any role as too little for where you are, because that can be the segue to your next level. Sometimes it's just getting in the room, and people don't understand just talk to people while you're on
You
set.
have to. You have to.
You
Being
know?
quiet, you only gonna slow down your process of what you're trying to achieve.
And they remember faces too.
They definitely remember faces. You will be surprised.
Surprise.
Years down the line, yeah.
I was at a book signing, and I introduced myself to some people in the room, and they was like, "Bro, I just saw you last week working on set. You was moving around."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, dang." You know, I'm introducing myself, and these people already knew and was familiar who I was and remember how I treated them too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at that time, I'm just moving around, making sure everybody was good. But they remember how you treat them, man. And that face does not go unrecognized. That's why when we say, when there's somebody that triggered you, you're like,
you gonna remember them
you
for
gonna
sure.
remember. You don't even always have to call it out. Don't even always have to call it out, man. So for the people out there, literally, treat people right along your journey.
You have to treat people right along your journey.
You
Because
know?
what you put out, you're gonna get back. Especially if you treating people wrong in the industry that you're trying to excel in.
Mhm.
Like you just said, you never know what it is that person may do. So they might not be in that position to make decisions on this particular project where you met them, but it could be something that you're trying to get a lead role for, or you're trying to get this position or that position, and they're gonna be the person that's making the decision.
Yeah.
What you think they're gonna do?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Quietly say, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I want to bring it back to your childhood a little bit, right?
Okay.
You grew up in Chicago, right? Inner city, right? When you're an inner city kid, the opportunities don't seem as vast. So you have to look outside the norm. So how was it growing up in Chicago, and what made you think outside the box? Because some people don't even want to leave the city. People think, oh, it's the inner city. Why wouldn't you want to leave? It's no, that's home. That's loves. What made you, like, how was it growing up in Chicago? And what was that point where it said, you know what, I need to expand beyond Chicago?
So, growing up in Chicago, of course, it's very big on gangs and things of that nature. So, depending on what neighborhood you from, like you literally like guilty by association just because you live in that particular area. That's what gang you're in. That's how most people would view you based off of how I experienced it growing up. And I think what separated me and what made me wanted to get out of the neighborhood is the fact that I always wanted to be good at everything that I did. So I got a crazy little story. So my dad was a dope artist. And I don't know if you remember the original Batman, the old school Batman, when they used to do the ping and the pow when they fight and all that type of stuff. He actually drew me a Batman and Robin character on notebook paper, and he drew like half of the Batmobile based off of how big the paper was or whatever, and it looked exactly like him. So me being the person I am, I took it to school or whatever to show it off, and then some of the guys I knew they was gonna try to, talk crazy or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I drew this or whatever. No, doggone way I didn't draw it. I didn't even know how to draw at the time. So we went to PE, come back, I look at my desk, somebody had tore the paper up. And they was like, well, if you the person that drew it, you can redraw it or whatever. I'm like, man, y'all really did this. So I spent that whole entire week trying to redraw it or whatever the case may be. He drew it off the front of a comic book because my uncle used to give me comic books when I was little. So I'm looking at the comic book, I'm drawing it. So one day it just clicked. I finally got it, learned how to, just look at it and draw just based off of me being able to see. So I learned how to draw anything based off of me just being able to see it. So I went to art class one time and they seen how good I was, and that ended up getting me into a program that was downtown Chicago for, doing art and things of that nature. So from there, it just kept on escalating to different things. I just wanted to get out of band one time in class or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll go to band or whatever. I ain't know nothing about band. Got in there, long story short, I ended up playing the trumpet, ended up getting a scholarship for the Merit Music Program, playing the band downtown. So I'm playing at Navy Pier, I'm going to orchestra, symphony halls, doing gigs and things like that as a kid. So I got the opportunity to see what it was like outside of just being in the hood by my talent taking me there. So that's what opened my mind up to seeing that it was more than just, being in the neighborhood. And I actually love these experiences so much. It's like, bro,
I'm not the same when I go back.
I'm not the same when I go back. It's like I can't even really show y'all these skill sets that I'm doing when I leave because y'all don't even value it. So it's like I'm not even gonna talk to y'all about this. Exactly. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna keep it to myself. But when I'm gone, I'm gone.
Yep.
Y'all see me when y'all see me.
Yo, the crazy thing about that is people respect it when you're so distant that you don't come back. Because when you're around, it's like, oh man, that's cool. What you doing? Go ahead with all that, right? But then when you're so far and you're not looking back, oh, that's my man's.
Yeah.
Yo, he went to my school. He's from around the way. And it's like, I didn't respect it when I was there. Don't respect it now, because I'm work like I'll give it an example. And used to work with a lot of artists, and the camera, like we said, the camera got me in rooms. So now I remember folks would be like, "Yo, you don't even know about this rapper. You ain't in the trap with us. You can't hit." So now when they catch me, I'm working with the other artists. I'm behind stage. Yo, and I'm like, you don't even understand. These people don't want your chaos
At all.
At all. Like, so it comes to that mixed balance. Like, what you thinking is corny, that same job that you thinking is corny is what got me in the room with the people that you admire.
Exactly. Now you trying to do what I do.
Now you're trying to do what I do, or be in proximity of me to get into those rooms. And it's like, nah, dog, stick to being yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I was just gonna say, I started having those conversations real quick. You can't use me to get here because I got my pass. They not gonna give me a pass for you. Like, so yeah.
Yep, and then you also understand this, man, when you get around, like, people are about business. Like, even comedians, right? You might think that comedian is a joke. No, that person cuts that laughter off. And if you joking on set, you're going to get checked. If you're not doing the right things, people are going to call because they take their career serious.
Very serious.
You think Kevin Hart is joking 24/7 when it's time to work? He turns that on. He still will joke with you, I'm sure, right? But that person is there to do a job. And when you're in this field, you understand, you could be 100% cool with people, but did you get it done or did you not get it done?
Exactly.
And if you didn't get it done,
you're not going to get called back. They're not talking to you no more.
All of it goes out the door. So for somebody that's in your shoes 10 years ago, right, what would you tell them? Because they might think that it's all fun and games, get into the industry. What would you say to that version of you 10 years ago?
I would say to the version of me 10 years ago, don't expect nobody to take you serious if you don't take you serious. And the work that you want to see out of yourself, prepare for it before the opportunity comes.
Yeah.
And the main thing about it all that I would really tell that version of me 10 years ago, just show up.
Yeah.
Like 90% of what you can accomplish will only get done just by you showing up. Even if you don't feel like showing up, like, just show up. You might not feel it in the beginning of the day, or no matter if you got to work up early in the morning, like you said, those 14 hours on set or whatever the case may be. You just taking the time to show up, spark something in you once you get in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
So yeah, showing up.
And now you're in reality shows, movies. You're in a current reality show, right, with Jocelyn Hernandez. Just give us a little insight how that came about.
So I actually trained her manager, Melissa Scott, and we were just talking about it one day, and she was like, yeah, I'm trying to get these guys together for this dancing show. I said, I know how to dance.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't think you're going to do that type of dance. I'm like, what type of dance you talking about? She was like, these guys are exotic dancers. I'm like, it ain't too much that they can do that I can't do. I'm like, come on, let me audition or whatever the case may be. So went to the audition, did my 1-2, and made the show.
Now, I know you were doing like hip hop dancing before, right? How was that transition though, bro? Like, because it's not your main field, so it's like, how was that transition?
Well, honestly, just based off of how Jocelyn wants to present the show, she wants to present it, gentlemen actually putting on a show, not just from an exotic dancer standpoint, but like to actually be able to perform and wow the ladies more than just what an exotic dancer will bring to the table. So I came in with the mindset like, I know how to do something that a lot of these guys may or may not know how to do. By me knowing how to do martial arts tricks and gymnastics and things like that, I can incorporate that into the hip hop dancing aspect of it, and I can bring sexy. I'm in the gym all the time, so it's like I may not be willing to take it as far as they will
Yeah,
take
yeah.
it, but I guarantee you, I'm gonna be an option for somebody in that crowd. They're gonna want to see what I got to offer just based off of how I bring it versus what they got going on.
Now, Jocelyn's been doing a lot of shows. I know my homegirl watches all her shows and things like that. How is it working on set with her?
She's a wild one.
Yeah.
She's honestly, she's gonna be completely honest and cut dry, but I feel like in some cases it can be a bit much sometimes.
Yeah.
And you just got to know who you are as a person, not to allow things to affect you. You basically can't be somebody that's very emotional or wear your feelings on
That's
your sleeves
reality
being
TV
around
in
her.
general, though.
Yeah. But yeah, she take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to come back like, you know what? I'm gonna go do a movie after this to wind down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, I got a
facts.
detox.
Yeah,
I gotta
facts.
get a detox role after this.
Yeah, exactly. For real.
You know. All right. So with that, what is one of the craziest roles you've had within your tenure in acting?
I think one of the craziest roles I had, I was actually playing a guy that was crazy. So this joint was called High School Romance. I did with a network called ACTV, to where
I've been following them too. They got a lot going on.
Yeah, I was basically obsessed with the girl that I had a crush on in high school, and I ran into her as an adult. So in my adult age, I was like wilding out. I was following her, popping up places where I knew she was gonna be at.
Oh, so you were stalking her?
I was stalking her hardcore, like to the point to where I had pictures of her up on a little room on my wall. They had a little scene to where I was pleasing myself looking at her pictures. Like, yeah, it was wild.
They took it to the max.
Yeah,
with that.
they took it to the max with that. So yeah, I think I never seen myself doing that, but I mean, it was a character. So it was interesting getting in that headspace to be that version of myself. Because I'm not saying I'm the flyest guy in the world, but growing up in the hood with pretty eyes or whatever, I never had issues when it came to women.
It's like, yo, listen, I already know how I be.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that was different getting in that headspace.
So like when you're playing a character, there's a lot of people that say that sometimes people get lost in the character and it's hard for them to bring it back to reality. Have you ever had that issue?
I've never had that issue, but I have had moments to where you can feel the effects of it, like once you get back into your regular life, once the character don't exist
after
no
playing
more.
Joker.
Yeah, like you feel it and you like, yeah, nah, that's not me. Like even when you see it on screen, it's like I don't like that.
It's like something going in your eyes.
I don't like that.
Now, do you know, like when you're training your lines, do you feel it then, or is it when the camera comes on that starts to occur?
Honestly, start building as soon as I get the script in my hand. Like once I read over it once, that's just giving me a little quick synopsis, and then once I start to dive a little bit more deeper into it, it's like, all right, now I can add the little nuances, like what will this person do in this particular situation? How would they move? What gestures would they do? If you're sitting at a table, you got cups or anything like to play around with, what would they do? Would they touch it? Would they leave it alone? Like, adding all those details to it. So, I mean, it's just the build up, and it's like once the cameras come on, like you gotta already have it. That's not the time to like figure it out right there when the camera's on. Like you gotta already have it put together.
Yeah, and I see you. You got your process, man. You got a lot of things going on. But what can we expect from you in the future? And is there anything that we should be looking out for in the near future?
So you can definitely expect me to be doing my own production. I'm actually working on a script right now as we speak.
Yo, if you need an extra, I can play a janitor and a bodyguard.
Right. And also, I'm working with a close client of mine. We're putting together programs for at-home students that get their schooling from at home, and basically keeping them in shape, giving them the mindset to be able to use fitness to carry on to other aspects of their life, and just gaining that discipline and just learning how to stay organized with everything that's going on.
Man, let the people know who you are once more and where they can find you at.
It's your boy CameraReady Frank. You can find me on IG at CameraReady_Frank. And yeah, everything that I got going on is on Instagram right now. Working on a YouTube page, and that will be set up shortly. But I'll make sure I have everything in the what they call it, the little underline things.
Well,
You got your title, and then right up under that, your bio. I'll
oh
have
yeah.
everything put up in my bio.
All the links in the bio.
Yes.
Man, Frank, I appreciate you coming
Yes,
through,
sir.
man. It was definitely good talking to you,
My
man.
pleasure,
And
man.
we got more to do, man, but definitely good luck with everything in the near
Thank you.
future, my brother.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you know, it's your boy Press. You can find me at Directed by Press. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming.